Before installing RSS Pro wallboards, make sure that the installation area is clean and flat. In our case, we'll start by laying down a continuous half-inch bead of RSS sealant in the groove around the Pro shower pan. If you're installing Pro wallboards on a different type of shower pan or directly onto a subfloor, then you can skip this first step. Now we can install our wallboard. Line up your wallboard so its edges are centered on studs or a pre-installed backer board. Then, set it into place. Secure your wallboard with RSS washers and screws. Washers and screws should be placed on every stud and up every 12 inches. Now is a good time to smooth out any excess sealant. Since our sealant is in a corner, we'll use an RSS corner trowel, though RSS also offers flat trowels. For edges where two wallboards will butt up against each other, first apply an additional half-inch continuous bead of RSS sealant. Then, line up your next wallboard and push it into place. Smooth out any excess sealant and secure your wallboard with washers and screws. This time though, washers and screws should be placed on the edge of the wallboard so that the washers can overlap both wallboards. If your wallboard's edges aren't centered on a stud or backer board, then this won't work properly. If you need to cut a Pro wallboard, then use a sharp box cutter or knife. RSS niches, like the one that we have installed here, are made to fit perfectly in between 16 on-center studs. They're also installed the exact same way that you would install any other Pro wallboard. With all of our wallboards now installed, we need to cover each of our seams and washers with RSS sealant. Lay out a half-inch bead of sealant over each seam and then smooth it out using an RSS trowel. Flat trowels for flat seams and corner trowels for corners. When applying sealant over a washer, make sure that you completely cover the washer and screw. If you're using a Pro Series shower pan, don't forget to also apply that half-inch continuous bead of sealant to the seam between your Pro wallboards, curb, and shower pan. Then of course smooth it out. If your curb is separate from your shower pan, then you'll also have to add sealant in between the shower pan and the curb. Our last step is to apply RSS waterproofing seam banding over any seam between Pro wallboards and a different wall material like drywall. If you're not using an RSS Pro Series shower pan, then you might also have to apply seam banding between the shower pan and the wallboards. Before applying your seam banding to the wall, make sure that it's going to cover 2 inches on each side of the seam between the wallboard and the other material it's going over. Next, apply modified thin set using a 3/16 of an inch V-notch trowel, fully covering the area that the seam banding will. When applying thin set, make sure to use directional troweling, so having all the lines in the thin set running in the same and shortest direction. Set your pre-cut piece of seam banding onto the thin set, then push it against the wall using a flat side of your trowel. Any excess modified thin set that's squeezed out from underneath the seam banding can be cleaned off. And with that, your Pro wallboard installation is complete and ready for tiling. If you need more details or assistance, visit Revolutionary Shower Systems website linked down below or with the QR code on screen.